Super excited to be sharing this with you guys. My name is Lewis Williams. I'm going to be talking to you today specifically about how to manifest with your birth chart. And it's going to be really simple, straight to the point. Let's just dive right into it. So, this is a step by step guide to manifesting with your birth chart. The initial thing I want you guys to grasp from this is that you can manifest with any planet in any house. There's no good or bad planets. It's really more about understanding. So I really want you to monitor that as we go through this. So, for example, if I am looking to manifest a better vitality, better health, self, or I have main concerns, I'm going to look in the house where I have my sun sign right here. And then I'm going to use this specific chart, which I will put in down below so you can download it for yourself, totally free. I'm going to figure out, okay, what house do I have it in? Now, I really love Astro Charts, astro-seek.com. You can even do Astro Charts. There's so many apps, CoStar, but you want to use the circle chart. The circle chart is always going to help you find things more clearly. And whole signs. If you can set your calculator to whole signs, it'll just make your life so much easier and so much more clear about what it is that you need to be manifesting. So, for example, if, again, we're looking at the sun, I have my sun in the 12th house. So, the things that I typically manifest are endings, healing, closure, solitude, spirituality, karma, help people with their old age, or I dwell on my old age and think about what do I need to be doing so I don't become more old, afterlife, limiting beliefs, subconscious. All of these things are going to help me understand what keeps me more happy, healthy, and aligned. Okay. And this is really helpful. So go ahead and, like, if you even want to manifest money, I think money is like a huge topic that a lot of people want to manifest. And I've made several videos about this on TikTok, but I want to go a little bit more in depth today. So Venus is the planet that you want to use if you want to manifest money or love. If you want to manifest money or love, go ahead and comment your Venus sign in the comment section, and I'll expand on this more if you guys want. But Venus, you're going to want to figure out exactly what house is Venus in for you. And then that's going to help you manifest love, beauty, and art. If you're an artist, if you're a lover, if you want to become more attractive, figure out your Venus. Like, for example, I have mine in my first house. I know it's the first house because there's a big old one right here in the circle. But then it's going to also say, I manifest beauty, I manifest love, I manifest all these things by being myself, with my appearance, with starting things, with my body, with first impressions, with my attitude, with my identity, with my approach to life. Those are the things that help me manifest love, art, as well as beauty, okay, and money, okay? There's a lot of different planets that handle different aspects of money. Another one that I wanted to share with you here is, like, whenever I need to manifest better communication to my audience, I will use my Mercury planet, for example. And Mercury, why? Because it's the planet of communication, intellect, as well as reason. So if you need to give someone a reason, instead of trying to convince them, talk about what is in your specific Mercury house. So I never try to convince anyone. I do my best to help people see how they might have limiting beliefs, though. Okay, because I have Mercury in the 12th house. This is how I've, like, built a lot of my business, and this is how I took myself out of homelessness, was because I realized that I had limiting beliefs. So if you're someone who struggles with, like, self-sabotage, Mercury is your go-to planet to figure out what are you saying to yourself. Or the other option is, what is in your 12th house? What planet rules your 12th house? If you have, like, a Leo 12th house, for example, and you're a Virgo rising, your self-confidence and your self-concept and your limiting beliefs are going to be based off of your ego. So you'd need to figure out where your sun is, okay? And then that's going to help you deal with those limiting beliefs. So, like I said, if you're a Virgo rising, Leo in the 12th house, and let's just say your sun's in the 6th, the only way to deal with your self-sabotage is by focusing on your health, focusing on your fitness, systems, analytical nature. Put attention into all 10 of those areas, and you will see that self-sabotage diminish and just go down really, really, really low. And Self-sabotage is something that I notice a lot of people struggle with in the spiritual community. So I would highly recommend that you address that with your 12th house. Okay. It's just going to make things so much easier. Another thing that I love to do on the daily when I'm manifesting is some of these other planets don't move super fast, but one of the things that I love to look at is Jupiter in my birth chart or wherever transiting Jupiter is in my birth chart. So I will look at, for example, Jupiter because it's going to help me understand how I grow, how I expand, how I change my life, how I teach, how I become wise as well. And I would highly recommend if you are watching this, you look into not only the planets that I said already, but definitely Jupiter, especially women, or if you're more feminine, Jupiter is one of the best planets, especially if you look at Vedic astrology. Jupiter is the planet that will help you figure out who your partner will be long term. And it will help you understand what characteristics, style, what type of lover they will be, what how they will give to you, what kind of table they'll bring into the relationship so that you can decorate it. Because in my opinion, men are supposed to bring the table and women are supposed to decorate the table in a relationship and make the table useful and give the table give it a reason to even table. So when you're looking at Jupiter in your birth chart, Jupiter is expansion, optimism, and abundance. So if you are looking for things like work, things like purpose, this can be a very good start. If you're looking for your like life purpose, North Node. But if you're looking for like the beginning of your purpose, what you should study in school, what kind of coach you should hire, what kind of like people you should work with, Jupiter, definitely. And for example, I have mine in the seventh house. So I know like relationships, marriage, contracts, business partners, equality, sharing, interpersonal style are all very important pieces to my growth and how I become more optimistic whenever I do feel like sad or whenever I dip into depression or if I'm ever, feeling like a little bit of a lack mindset, I immediately reflect on where my Jupiter is in my seventh house and I tell myself, oh, I need to, build some new relationships with friends or I need to build some better relationship with family or maybe I need to go on a date with myself or with another person. I consider what marriage looks like and I'm make a long list of like all the things I think that are important in marriage based on my past. Instead of me reflecting on like, oh, why don't I this and that with partners, I'll reflect on what I do want. And then it'll put me into a more optimistic mood for the rest of the day. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I think Jupiter is one of the like best planets if you're going to be like really diving into manifestation. Another thing that I think is a huge topic is health. So if you're someone who struggles with your health pretty consistently, I would highly recommend at your sixth house in your birth chart. Your sixth house is the house of health. If you're someone who's like struggling with overweight, you're just like not eating properly, you struggle with your diet or you struggle with fitness, um, anything like this, habits, maybe you need some new habits. Look at your sixth house ruler. Ruler meaning what zodiac sign rules your sixth house, and then find that planet in your birth chart. So, for example, if you're a Virgo sixth house, Virgo rules Mercury, is ruled by Mercury. So you look for where is Mercury in your chart. So, like for me, when I was figuring this out, I realized that I realized that Virgo was my sixth house. And then I asked myself, okay, what planet rules Virgo? Mercury. And then I looked in my 12th house because that's where my Mercury is. And then I realized that I should be working out and doing fitness things and doing health stuff for my healing process. So I've noticed whether it's like psychological, mental, spiritual, physical, working out has always been uh, more attached for me to like needing solitude or closure or spirituality. Like I'll pray and then I'll work out, or I'll do them kind of like back to back, and or really like in a same time frame, and then it just helps it become like an easier habit because the sixth house rules habits. So just like reprogramming your mind and allowing yourself to step into those things can really look like just finding a reason to make it make sense. I highly recommend, if you're still watching this video to this point, whenever we're using the houses, you want to use every single thing in the house, because a lot of people, like for example, they'll look at the eighth house and I'll tell them like, okay, if you have Venus in the eighth house, that's how you make money. And they'll say, oh, I make money through sex. That is works. That's literally not how it works. You make more money when you have better sex and when you merge with people and when you have a nice sense of intimacy with people, when you have your taxes together, when you share finances with another person, when your partner has resources, you have resources. You could be inheriting money. Money, you can be inheriting anything really when Venus is in that house. Like you could be inheriting knowledge because knowledge is worth more than money. You could be inheriting an understanding of relationships that will help you propel your career. You could also be a very mysterious person, and maybe people, because you're so mysterious, when you finally do tell people or show people or give people things, they will do it in exchange for money. So, and loans and assets. So when we're using the houses, don't just look at it as the very first, second, or third thing. All 10 things in that house are deeply important, and you need to consider all of them for yourself and for others. I want to really like hone down on this because it's so important when you're using the houses and when you're understanding your chart. Don't just limit yourself to does it does it oh, it just means this one thing. Like, no, that's never how it goes. And also, because there's something called the law of reciprocity, most of the time, if you need more money, it typically means something like you need to give more stuff. A lot of people have this like kind of wild expectation that they should be receiving tons of money and become the first millionaire in their family. But like in reality, why should you become the first millionaire in your family if you don't give people who have money anything? You just want money. It doesn't really work that way. Even, people spend money to get something in exchange. So be the person who gives them stuff and you will get more money. I hope that makes perfectly clear sense on how to use Venus, specifically in the eighth house. And if you have your Venus in a spot that you're kind of confused about, go ahead and drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear more about how you would like to learn how to manifest daily using your birth chart. This is just how I do it. I think it's very powerful and it helps a lot of people. So, highly recommend that you do this for yourself if it's something that you're interested in. And if not, totally cool. Comment what questions you have below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.